See, this one is the the Spanish Villa. That's right.
Hmm. This ought to be interesting. This is the last one, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is the last one we've got until they released another DLC. Co-op on. Find a friend. There's Mom. Okay, I sent you an invite.
Okay, accepted.
It's not as big as I thought. Now that I look at it, I think the other one was bigger than this one.
Too late.
It is a decent chunky size, though.
Looks like it's inside and out. I'm in.
Hey, I'm above you.
Hi.
Hi. I was going to start
Where do you
up
want to
here.
start? Okay. I guess I'll start on the bottom.
I'm Commander Shepard, and AwesomeMattG is my favorite streamer on Twitch.
Hey, what's up, Matthew? How are you?
Hi, Matthew.
Hi. Doing all right, sir. So now that we're going to be done with this, and
Mhm.
there's not a lot left in Viscera that's new. Is there anything else you wanted to play next?
Well, the only other thing I could think of is to go back to 7 days. Really, I don't have that many games that I can play that are co-op. If you can think of something that you think I'd like, I'm willing to try it.
Let me think. I'll do some thinking over the next couple of days. 7 Days hasn't come out with their update yet, have they?
I don't know. I haven't really checked.
I haven't really kept up to date with it.
Preferably something that I've already got.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
It's not necessarily a deal breaker.
I'm stuck? Okay, I'm good. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll go through my games and see what games I have that are co-op that I think you would enjoy. Then I'll look
Okay.
and see if you've got those. But I should be able to look at your list of games.
Yeah. I mean, we could always try. I don't really know how they go with multiplayer, but there's some of the games that I have tried by myself that I wasn't able to get very far, that we might be able to try. See if they're easier on multiplayer.
You'd
So
always
there's stuff like that.
You'd always send me a list of things that you've played but weren't able to get anywhere with,
Okay.
and I can look and see.
Yeah, some of them may not be your kind of thing, but we'll see.
One way or another, we'll find something to play. Doing this on a pretty regular basis has been pretty fun.
I've enjoyed it. You know, I don't want you to do it more than you want to do it because, you know, I don't want to be intruding on your channel, but it's been fun.
Well, so far I've been having fun. People watching seem to enjoy it. As long as that's all it is, I'm good. Honestly, as long as I'm having fun, that's all I really care about. The people watching don't like it, I don't care. I do a lot of things people don't like to watch.
True.
That in-game text box could not have been more wrong. It said cats are completely helpless. If it wasn't for them being cute, nature would have killed them off hundreds of years ago. And I was all like, what? No way, dude.
No, I don't think so.
Even domesticated cats are like killing machines. Like they would do just fine.
I can attest to that.
There's a reason cats are amongst the most successful predators all over the world. Don't get me wrong, they're stupid cats, but...
Yeah, the latest thing is that orange cats only have one brain cell.
Oh, well, that's true, though. Orange cats are just dumb.
But lovable.
Oh, yeah,
You had an orange cat.
I did. Well, you had an orange cat.
Well, he made himself your cat. He spent more time with you than anybody else.
Which is weird. I was not the nicest of children to him.
Well, I don't know.
I wasn't cruel, but I was stupid.
You didn't know any better. And he loved you anyway.
Yeah, well, he's dead now, so.
Unfortunately. You know, there's little cat footprints all over the place down here.
Yeah, there were a bunch up here as well. We're getting really close to finishing the next generation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we started the last season a couple days ago. For the longest time, Cappy was like, I'm going to want to take a break between Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. And I was all like, that's fine. And then we started the last season, and she's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait. I love Star Trek too.
No.
Yes, you do. You deny it all you want. I was there.
Well, you can make sure she understands that Deep Space Nine is a lot different
Oh yeah, she
than
knows.
Next Generation. So it's not just more of the same.
Right. Yeah, I've already told her, like, it's a much more, generally speaking, it's got a more serious overtone to it.
A little more cerebral, I think.
Yeah. It definitely plays a lot in the like gray area of stuff where it's like, is this good or is this evil? Like, I guess it all depends on your point of view.
Did the Ferengi show up before Deep Space Nine at all?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't-
They were in a handful of Next Generation episodes.
Okay, I couldn't remember if they were or not.
Yeah, like 5 or 6, I think. They weren't in a bunch, but They were initially introduced as the main villain of Next Generation.
Huh.
That was the intent, at least.
It got replaced by the Borg.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, that didn't work out. I was always surprised when I heard that the first time. I was all like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, it was supposed to be the main antagonist. They were supposed to be essentially the Klingons of this of TNG, like Klingons were in the original series. And I was like, no way, and they're like, yeah, 100%. Like the first episode they show up, they're really like violent and stuff, and you're just kind of like, huh. They look too ridiculous for that.
Yeah, they're more comic relief than anything else.
Yeah. Once they
or at least that's what they became.
Yeah. And they worked really well in that role.
Yeah. Well, I thought this was more inside down here, but it's just niches.
Frederick Nietzsche's? Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
You wish they could have done season 5 of Enterprise? I went back and started to rewatch Enterprise and stopped. But I really need to like buckle down and really try to watch it again.
I enjoyed it. The characters were likable.
Yeah, the characters are really good. I never had a problem with the characters. I had more of a problem with the stories of the episodes.
Yeah, they could have been better written.
The writing was subpar. And it felt like they were trying to make a lot of it kind of like soap opera-y. But I got like halfway through the second season and then lost interest again. Which is about the same place I stopped watching it the first time. I think another reason I tend to lose interest is I know how it ends. And it ends very poorly.
Yeah.
So it's,
I think that the studio just gave up on it, basically.
Well, it was unfortunate because Enterprise was That was back when Paramount was trying to make their own TV channel, and they went to UPN, and they blamed Enterprise's poor performance not on the fact that it was on a channel that nobody knew existed, but on the fact that it was a terrible show. So they ended up canning it. I think it could have been better if they put a little more effort into it, but they just didn't have the desire to at the time. Which is weird, because Paramount's come back and said multiple times since then that Star Trek is like their golden goose. They're like, it's great, we love it. Like, well, you sure treat it like a redheaded stepchild for something that you guys have constantly said that's going to be the last thing you ever sell off if you end up going out of business. Which, unfortunately for Paramount, seems imminent.
Yeah.
One of the guys I watch on YouTube that does a lot of like movie reviews and stuff, his big thing is like the financials of the movie industry, and so he's very much keeping up with the unfortunate like downfall of a lot of these companies recently. He's like, Paramount is hurting really bad right now.
Well, I think they were jumping onto a bandwagon that they really weren't prepared for.
Oh, 100%. A lot of the companies that did the streaming stuff had no idea what they were getting into.
Yeah.
They just saw Netflix making a lot of money, and they're like, we want to do that too.
Yeah, we went in on this.
The one thing I'm kind of bummed about with a lot of the Star Trek shows recently is their affinity for making a prequel show, but then putting in stuff that doesn't exist technologically in the future.
Yeah.
They keep doing that. They're like...
messing up the timeline.
Yeah, they're like, hey, here's this thing that we've got on this show, and you're like, well, why wasn't it in the original series or Next Generation or anything? And they're like, oh, well, you know, they just forgot about it.
Yeah, throwing in all of these alien cultures when we know when first contact was supposed to have occurred.
Right.
And who with. And so it doesn't compute.
Yeah,
as Spock would say.
I'm totally fine with them wanting to do new stuff, but like they should make it a future show instead of a past show.
Exactly.
I brought this up to somebody one time, and they were like, you just don't want new Star Trek, you want more of the old stuff. And I'm like, no, I just want them to stop screwing up the timeline, that's all.
Yeah, that was one of my big bugaboos because they had, you know, the prime directive that you don't mess with other cultures, and yet that was pretty much what they did all the time.
One of the things that really got me on the when I was trying to start to rewatch Enterprise was they in just like a week before, Cappy and I had watched the Next Generation episode where the Ferengi were introduced. And I was all like, cool, see, this is the first time the Federation ever ran into the Ferengi. That's why they were like, who the hell are these people? And then like 2 or 3 days later, I watch a Star Trek Enterprise episode and the Ferengi show up. And I'm like, what? And then they tried to play it off and say that the crew of the Enterprise show just like didn't make logs about this new alien species they ran into. And I'm like, you're telling me that a show based solely on the fact that humans are now able to explore the universe for the very first time, and they run into a new species that nobody has seen before, and they don't mention it to anybody.
Yeah.
They don't write it down. They don't make any reports.
Yeah, made no sense.
And then I know later in the series they try to introduce the Borg. They're like, look, there's Borg here. And I'm all like, really? You didn't write this one down either? I think they did the Borg one towards the end when they knew the show was already failing. They were like, quick, put the Borg in here. Maybe that'll fix it. Can you guys get somebody who's actually a Star Trek fan to write for your show, please?
I mean, the fan universe is big enough that you know there are people out there they could consult. I mean, look at all the fan books that have been written.
Mm-hmm. I know there are some really solid Enterprise episodes though, so it's just like you kind of have to get through the slog of some of them. Wasn't the Borg a reference to the First Contact movie? If it was, it wasn't super clear. And secondly, they should have written it down. That's my biggest point. It's like, why wouldn't they have written it down? The whole point of you being out here is exploring and getting new information. And then you don't write down the information you got. Like, that's rule number 1. Make lots of notes.
Let me put the ladder down.
You can't drop it on the ground. You have to put it in a place where a ladder goes.
That is such a hassle.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I just want it out of the way.
Yeah, you got to put it on something.
down off the ladder. Well, pretty well got the first level done.
Yeah, looking good. I'm almost done with the third level.
And we'll meet in the middle.
What? This is a nice little map, actually.
It is.
I have watched the first 2 seasons of the Star Trek animated show Lower Decks that came out recently.
Uh-huh.
I'm a season behind on it now, but that show is really fun. I like it a lot. It makes a lot of references to Next Generation and Deep Space Nine episodes.
When is it set?
After Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
So the very first episode, the whole concept of the show is this is a ship that goes around and visits planets that have already been contacted once. So their job is second contact, not first contact.
Oh.
And it's a lot of them are like going behind the Enterprise or other ships and trying to like clean up the mess that they've left behind.
Sounds like it's kind of tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, it definitely is. It 100% is. It's definitely intended to be funny and making fun of itself. But it's really good. Like there's an episode of Next Generation where there are 2 species that live in the same solar system, and they trade with each other. And what they do is one of the species has a medical condition that can only be treated with medicine that's made on the second planet. But the people with the medical condition are the only ones that can make space flight capable ships. So they trade their spaceflight ships for the medicine that they need. But the Enterprise gets there, and it looks at the medicine because it's like, maybe I can help these people out by giving them the medicine, like helping them make their own medicine.
Yeah.
And they find out that it's not actually medicine; it's like meth, essentially. So the first planet had intentionally, a long time in the past, gotten the second planet addicted to this drug. So now their entire species is addicted to the drug. And obviously when they don't have the drug, they have massive withdrawals. So that's the sickness, is withdrawal syndrome. And so what the Enterprise does is, rather than give, because they can't give them the medication because that would interfere with like the interplanetary economy, they take the last shipment of medication away so that neither of them have it. They're like, we're not going to give you the medicine. Because it's not really medicine, it's the drug. So they kind of forced the second species to deal with their withdrawals and ruined the first species'
prime export.
Yeah, prime export, so now they have problems. And that's essentially the end of the episode. That's where they end it. And you're like, wait, but what happened? Because, like, you ruined their economy, and this other, the first group is going through massive drug withdrawals. Like, what's going on? And so the first episode of the animated show is them going to that planet after Picard left. And being like, okay, now we have to deal with this. We've been gone for like 2 years. Let's go back and see what happened. And so they have to like clean up the mess that was left behind. And the the show does deal with the main crew, like the captain and the first officer and all that stuff. But the main cast of the show are like the ensigns on the ship. Because they're the ones having to do the actual work.
Oh, the red shirts.
Exactly. Well, they got the idea of the show from... There was a Next Generation episode called Lower Decks, where the main focus of that one Next Gen episode was a whole bunch of, like, ensigns and low-level lieutenants and stuff just, like, going about their daily lives.
Yeah.
And so they were like, what if we made a show where those were the main characters? And so
what service is that on?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, I don't get that.
Yeah. Well, if Paramount ends up going under, they're going to have to sell all their streaming rights, so maybe it'll go to something else.
True. Well, right now the only paid services I'm on are YouTube and BritBox and Acorn. Well, and I'm not even paying for Acorn. I'm watching off of Carol's Acorn.
You pay for YouTube?
Yep, I have YouTube Premium, no ads.
Oh.
The ads were driving me nuts. And it's not that expensive, so. Okay, staircase is looking good. I won't say it's complete, but it's not bad.
Ah!
You okay there?
I fell down.
You fall down.
Fall down, go boom.
So have you watched any of Picard?
We watched like half of the first season and then we stopped because we wanted to go back and rewatch like Next Generation and stuff first.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Next Generation references and DS9 references. But yeah, we definitely plan to watch it.
I haven't seen any of it except for, just trailers.
Yeah, we saw like 4 or 5 episodes of it. It was good for what we watched. We enjoyed it. but once they started referencing a lot of stuff, and Cappy was like, "What's this mean? What's that about?" And then I had to start explaining Next Generation episodes to her. I was all like, "You know what? Let's watch Next Generation first."
Yeah.
Because a lot of this will be answered just by having like institutional knowledge of Star Trek. Like, you don't have to know what happened to understand what's going on, but it helps.
But it's very helpful. Well, I won't say I won't ever watch it, but I don't know. I'm kind of at the point where I'm ready to let Star Trek go. I mean, you know, I was of the generation that tuned in to watch the original series every week.
Right. Yeah, and I was definitely of the Next Generation DS9 generation.
I came across my deck of Next Generation cards the other day.
Oh, did you? That's fun.
Yeah, I had the whole deck, plus the special card, which was Data laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I guess maybe it'll be worth something someday. I don't know.
What's up?
I was going to try to get on top of this wall over here, and it won't let me.
Yeah, you could jump on top of that bush.
Oh.
Oh, you can't. No, you on that wall. Yeah, you can't get on top of that wall.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to be. Because that would give me a straight down look at this roof instead of having to move from side to side all the time to get everything.
Yeah. That's what I had to do on the other, the little piece of tile roof over here that I've already done. Just had to kind of go back and forth on it. That's done. Is that the villa from Assassin's Creed? No.
We're at 80%.
Yep. Getting close.
What do you want to do after this? You want to go play some Viscera, maybe?
Yeah, we could play a little Viscera.
Maybe play a couple of smaller maps. My gosh. And with all the cleaning I've done, it's still not clean.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's looking better. Excuse me.
Stop it.
Got a tickle in my throat.
Hello.
Hello. $99. Can you check on what's left?
Yeah, the bottom floor is done, is still needing. Okay, that's done. Oh, let's look. Casa roof tiles, 1 of 3. Upper casa ledge windows, 0 of 3.
Upper copper casa ledge windows. I'm not seeing yellow anywhere.
Huh. Tower door handle.
Okay, I'll go see if I can get that. No.
Okay, there we go. Now we have the to-do list. Casa roof tiles.
Get down off the ladder.
Sorry.
Okay, got the door handle. Upper casa window ledges. Roof tiles times 2.
I'm working on those.
Balcony windows. Upper casa. Do those window ledges while you're up there, because those are the upper casa windows. Ha-ha! Now just the roof tiles.
Well, it's these. I just don't know where. I can't see any orange on them. There we go.
Ah, you got it.
All right. Well, that is all of them.
Alrighty.